Was Rohith Vemula not a Dalit? Did he kill himself in the fear of his caste location being exposed? 8 years after Rohit's suicide, the closure report by the Telangana police falsely claims that he was not a Dalit. So does Home Minister Amit Shah.
सत्य जो जानते थे वो सारे जानते थे कि वो दलित नहीं थे.
In this episode of Let Me Explain, I look at how the report has made multiple false and unsubstantiated allegations and how it chose to ignore the events leading up to Rohit's suicide. Let me explain. Our reporting on the tensions between students in HCU started when the Ambedkarite students started protesting in 2015. Then when Rohit killed himself, we continued reporting on this responsibly and sensitively. For us, this is not just a story. It's a matter of our convictions. Do support our fearless journalism. Become a paid TNM subscriber. Rohith Vemula died by suicide in Jan 2016. The police report in question was prepared in 2018, but it was officially submitted in the jurisdictional court only on March 21st of this year. So what does this report actually say? The closure report claimed that Rohit was actually not a Dalit, and fearing the possibility that he would be discovered, he killed himself. The report argues that Rohit's suicide had nothing to do with the university. The report completely absolved the university administration and political leaders, including the Vice-Chancellor Appa Rao, against whom the students had filed multiple cases of harassment. But that's not all. Without taking into account Rohith Vemula's stellar academic performance, the report blames Rohit for appearing to be involved more in student political issues than studies. Now let's look at why all these claims are problematic and false even. The Telangana police seem to dedicate a lot of attention to Rohith Vemula's caste during the investigation. This despite the case being filed under the SC/ST Atrocities Act and abetment to suicide. They appear to focus predominantly on his caste location. The question of his caste came up after his death. When he was alive, Rohit lived as a Dalit. Rohit's family has repeatedly said in various interviews that Radhika, that's Rohit's mother, was born in a Dalit Mala family. But she was adopted by a woman named Anjani Devi, who was a Vadera, an OBC caste in Telangana. While Radhika was a Dalit, Rohit's father, Mani Kumar, also belonged to the Vadera community. Mani Kumar abandoned Radhika and her children after he discovered her Dalit identity. The transfer certificates from Rohit's schools and colleges that the police had procured all say that he's from the SC community. But the police have declared that they were fraudulently taken and have said that they are now void. The police report has primarily gone by a few statements, that of Rohit's father and grandmother, where they both claim that Rohit was from an OBC community. Now, Amit Shah too has repeated this claim.
रोहित वेमुला को भी मुद्दा तो आप लोगों ने ही बनाया था. सत्य जो जानते थे वो सारे जानते थे कि वो दलित नहीं थे.
Now, after this interview, Rohith Vemula's family has hit back at Amit Shah. And in a statement, they've said that it was only after Rohit's death that the BJP initiated a false complaint stating that Rohit is not a Dalit. The statement adds that the district collector of Guntur had issued an order that Rohit is an SC. The National Commission for Scheduled Castes had also reiterated the same thing. Now, the student community from the University of Hyderabad, in a statement, has said that there cannot be a greater insult to Rohit's life and legacy than remarking that he's actually not a Dalit.
Forget that the justice was delivered, but also Rohit has been criminalized for his own death, which is way more atrocious than anything that can happen to any atrocity case.
But here's the question. Does Rohit's father, belonging to the OBC community, in any way undermine Rohit's Dalit identity? The answer is no, it does not. We can look at two court verdicts that affirm this fact. Let's look at the first one. In 2010, the Bombay High Court said that a woman's caste from a scheduled caste or tribe doesn't change by marrying into a forward caste. They stressed that individuals face inherent disadvantages due to their birth caste, which marriage does not eliminate. There's another verdict we can look at for this. In 2012, the Supreme Court questioned whether it's fair to deny the child benefits and protections guaranteed by the Constitution based solely on the father's caste. This especially considering that the child is raised in and identifies with the mother's community and is facing all the associated challenges and discrimination. Now let's look at the question of the role of the university. In July 2015, students of the Ambedkar Students Association, that's the ASA, at Hyderabad Central University participated in an event which discussed the execution of Yaqub Men. The ABVP had then accused the ASA of raking up communal tensions. Tensions finally grew and eventually a police case was filed. Later, 5 ASA students, including Rohith Vemula, got slapped with a 6-month suspension. But then, the acting VC at the point lifted it. When Appa Rao became the VC, he imposed the suspension once again. Rohith and 5 other students challenged it and slept in the open in protest. In this report, the police seemed to conveniently ignore the letter written by Rohith on December 18, 2015 to Vice Chancellor Appa Rao. In this letter, Rohith asked the Vice Chancellor to serve 10 mg of sodium azide, which is a poison, to all Dalit students at the time of admission with directions to use when they feel like reading Ambedkar. He also said, supply a nice rope to all rooms of Dalit students. In the letter, Rohith added that euthanasia should be made available to students like him. Rohith's suicide note and a previous letter he wrote to the Vice Chancellor clearly indicate that he was pushed to his breaking point by the university's Vice Chancellor. BJP MLC Ramachandra Rao, ABVP activists who assaulted the ASA members, and then the BJP Minister Bandaru Dattatreya had all written letters to the HRD ministry seeking action against the Ambedkarite students, even calling them anti-national repeatedly. Students in their statements say that the social boycott imposed by the University Vice Chancellor Appa Rao on 5 Dalit scholars, including Rohith, ultimately resulted in his institutional demise. Now let's take a look at the politics that has played out since Rohith's death. The accusations against the BJP we've already looked at. The BRS, which was then the TRS that was in power, clamped down on the protests. The students who were protesting with Rohith Vemula's mortal remains were lathi-charged by the Hyderabad police. The family has accused that the police under TRS did not even allow Radhika to conduct Rohith's last rites. The worst part, the report on Rohith's case was prepared by the police when the BRS was in power. So the question of whether there was any kind of political interference will come up now. Then comes the part of the Congress. At the time of Rohith's death, Congress had taken on the Modi government. Rahul Gandhi had spoken about it in Parliament and even questioned Modi's silence over it. He'd met Radhika Vemula during the Telangana leg of his Bharat Jodo Yatra. But the police closure report comes just 5 months after the Congress government came to power in Telangana. The Telangana Chief Minister Revant Reddy has assured a reinvestigation, but the move is too little, too late. The politics over Rohith's suicide, his Dalit identity, and then the harassment of his family has continued. That's it from me for this week. Make sure you come back for another episode of Let Me Explain. Meanwhile, do tell me what you thought of this episode. Drop your comments in the comments section. And as I keep reminding you time and again, scan this QR code and become a paid TNM subscriber. That way, you get to support our journalism and also invest in a better democracy.